Resident Evil may have started out as a console-exclusive franchise, but with subsequent PC ports and new releases, it's developed quite the modding scene over the past few years. This was best seen in Resident Evil 2 from 2019 and Resident Evil 3 from 2020. From replacing Mr. X with Pennywise from It, to replacing all of the regular zombies with Nemesis. With Resident Evil Village recently being released, it doesn't quite have the same range of mods just yet. Nevertheless, there are quite a few decent options available, whether it's providing fixes or revamping the appearance of certain characters. Let's take a look at 10 mods that are really worth using. Before we go ahead, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos every single day, and your support really helps us out. With that out of the way, let's start. Fluffy Manager. Much like previous iterations that were released for Resident Evil 2 and 3, Fluffy Manager allows for managing and installing mods for Resident Evil Village. Such is its usefulness that many other mods require having it installed beforehand. Along with providing a mods list and setting the priority for different mods, it also lets you directly download mods within the manager. Some of the more underrated options go beyond just managing other mods too. You can adjust the field of view for regular exploration and aiming, along with disabling the vignette effect and the HUD. For those who have found Village's FOV to be too restrictive, this presents a nice option on top of everything else. Lazy FOV and Vignette Fix. If you want even more control over the field of view in-game, then Macia Face's Lazy FOV and Vignette Fix mod should do the trick. It offers sliders for the field of view and vignette effect, with the game updating in real time as you change the settings. There are separate sliders for the base FOV, zoom FOV, and vignette, along with the option to turn off the fix when cutscenes are playing. Though the mod will remember your settings when booting it up, you can also have it edit the game's file directly. This makes it so that you only ever have to run the game instead of managing mod settings separately. Mini-Me Chris. What if Chris Redfield didn't just invade the Winters' home and kidnap Rose? What if Chris was there, albeit in Rose's place? What if Chris came to rescue baby Chris? Modder JTEG sought to answer these burning questions by modding Chris's face onto baby Rose's body. Even the facial expressions work, because of course they do. Fluffy Manager is required to be installed to run this mod, so have that ready beforehand. The replacement isn't perfect, because of course it wouldn't be, but it is a testament to just how ridiculous the Resident Evil modding community can be sometimes. What's next? Modding baby Rose's face onto Chris's body? Baby over Chris's face. Of course, the next step was modding baby Rose's face onto Chris's body, though it only really works in the prologue. Modder JTEG is once again the culprit, though the mod was only created after the success of the Mini-Me Chris mod. Facial animations apply here, allowing this version of Rose to emote just like everyone's favourite brooding Redfield, though the eyes remain static throughout. Still, seeing Chris with that face saying, "Ethan, no!" that too while holding Mini-Me Chris in his arms, is a surreal yet endearing bit of humour. Daughter Flies Removal. Bella, Cassandra and Daniela don't take up too much screen time in Castle Dimitrescu, but for the most part, it can be tough to tell them apart due to all of those flies buzzing around them. X-Rack's Daughter Flies Removal mod removes the flies, providing a much clearer look at each daughter. This is nothing more than a cosmetic change to help better appreciate the detail and animation work on display. Since the flies are still being rendered but just aren't visible, those having slight performance issues may not see any improvements. Count Theodora. Fresh off of stints in Fallout 4 and Kingdom Hearts 3 of all games, the terror that is Thomas the Tank Engine comes to Resident Evil Village. However, he does so in the form of Lady Dimitrescu, utilising the same facial animations for some truly terrifying moments, especially with how wide-eyed the whole deal looks. It's not necessarily the best implementation, the mod tends to bug out at times, making it seem like Dimitrescu has no head at all. Still, Seeing Thomas with a full set of teeth while smiling and stalking us with the form of a near 10-foot tall vampire lady is probably something we didn't need in our nightmares. Lady Dimitrescu armors. Throughout Castle Dimitrescu, you'll find various suits of armor. They don't really do anything, but they add a cool medieval vibe to the surroundings. If you truly can't get enough of Lady Dimitrescu though, then there's a mod by X-Rack to replace the armors with her likeness. Yes, the result looks more like a statue than a proper suit of armor, and her claws being exposed may come across as a bit much, but they fit in rather well, and look incredibly detailed, so there is that. Real weapon names. If you're one of those people who sees a real-world firearm in a game and can't reconcile with its fake name, this mod is for you. Created by Reap McMuffins, it replaces the in-game names of various guns with their actual names. The F2 sniper rifle becomes the MAS FR-F2, the M1911 handgun becomes the Colt M45A1, and the WCX is renamed to the Sig Sauer MCX Virtus SBR. While not the most polished mod, since it was put together relatively quickly, it does add that extra bit of realism to the experience. Classic startup screen. There are numerous moments and sequences, not to mention gameplay elements that will call back to previous titles. However, there's one missing element that lends that last bit of authentic RE terror, the startup screen, with the message, "This game contains scenes of explicit violence and gore." Thanks to modder boy called James, you can add the classic message to greet you every time. Even better, it's available in multiple languages, including English, French, Italian, Spanish, and so on. RE8 HDR FX. Don't have an HDR monitor, but still want to experience the sensation of playing in HDR? The RE8 HDR FX mod by Vanguard 1776 does just that. Sort of. It's essentially a reshade mod that adjusts the visuals, giving them an effect that resembles HDR. The results are interesting, with lights popping more, black shades looking much deeper, and everything coming across as a lot more vibrant. Along with the option to toggle effects, there's also one for enabling depth of field. Considering the modder's reshade works on previous titles, it's worth checking this one out, even if you just want a different look to the game. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on Gaming Bolt, so please consider subscribing, as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.